name that time. We started the night with Zerevex's group exploring the dungeon that they are in. Given the state of his group, he hands an invisibility potion to Lark and Torren just in case, because they had poked their face in all kinds of manner of awful things and stuff. They find a garbage room and decide it's not the path to glory. In a different room, they find a canvas and more of the red substance from the previous episode that was seen in the other cavern. Lark decides this would be a great place to leave her handprint, because she's a thief, and apparently giving her mark of exact stuff is the way thieves do things now. Anyway, she dips her hand in the red substance and tries to leave a handprint on the canvas, where everyone can see it. But the handprint basically became solid on the other side and of the canvas, and it tried to pull her in. She slipped out of its grasp, though. Lark then goes to the fountain to wash her hand off, and just sticking her pinky in seems to taint the entire fountain. Again, thief, leaving her mark. Zerevex continues exploring and finds a room of sleeping guards, so he backs out quietly. In a different room, Zerevex smells something funny and tells the rest of his group to stay back. Making his way over some pillows, some funny-smelling pillows, he reaches the other side of the room to find a room full of bats, mushrooms, and something much bigger hanging from the ceiling. He ultimately decides to retreat back to his group, and collectively they agree that this cave is not for them, so they see about getting out of the camp. Outside of the cave, they see a watchtower ahead of them and start creeping about it. A drunk man stumbles into Zerevex, and as he starts to recognize Zerevex, Zerevex cuts him down in one blow. Lark checks his pocket and finds a watch with the insignia of Green Nest, which she pockets in her pocket from his pocket. Pockets! The group makes it out of the camp without any other incidents. Meanwhile, Moroz and Ellywick make it back to where they had made camp the previous day, and decide to make camp there again. Before sleeping, Ellywick smudges a note of charcoal which says, "Camping at last camp," signs it, and asks Barzu to find the other group and deliver the note. Ellywick takes first watch. Barzu manages to find the other group and delivers the note before turning back. I thought there was something about poop, but apparently not. When the two groups meet up, Zerevex mentions that some of the bodies were found, the bodies that they killed, and they think a search party might be forming up, so the reunited group decides to pack up and head out. Ellywick heals up Zerevex's battered party before moving on. As they approach the long road, they see two gnomish folks talking on the road. The group hails them, our heroic travelers group hails them, and warns them of the impending cultist group coming their way. They identify themselves as being from Green Nest, the other group, and agree to come with the party and keep watch, since by now, this group has gone without sleep for so long that they are all thoroughly exhausted. As they go along, Moroz learns that these gnomes are actually Smurfneblin. Smurfneblin, I said it right. Smurfneblin. Smurfs. And Galgamech, or what is his name? Anyway, Smurfs. Deep gnomes. Their names are Sava and Tai. The group continues pushing through the entire day, becoming even more exhausted, but they feel they must push on to make it there, and there must be Green Nest. After frightening a crazy lady on the outskirts of Green Nest, they make their way to the governor and give him a recap of what happened. As they tell the governor that William was lost, the governor mentions that William has already come to Green Nest and left. So I guess it is William's sister coming next week. Zerevex asks what exactly the treasure of Green Nest was, since that was part of their task. The governor tells about various items from Green Nest that were taken, one of which being a locket. Lark pulls the locket out of her pocket that she got from the drunk guy's pocket, and that happens to be one of the treasures. Yay. The fortune shines upon thee. There we go. Ellywick heads to the tavern, the half-full cup, to try to find the deep gnomes who kept them company on the way. She's told that the gnomes have retired, so she heads to the bathhouse and bed after offering some things to Torren. ... Moroz also heads to the tavern asking about Verga. That's his group of dots. He's told that she is at the Priest's Guild talking about taxes because that's what one does in Priest's Guild apparently. So he heads there, meets up with her, and retires. ... Zerevex communes with Sigil, and Sigil seems to be pleased with his efforts, but reiterates that he needs to go further and take out the Dragonborn. Sigil suggests that he should have gone further in the big cavern to find the Dragonborn in question. He then retires to the keep. Lark takes a bath and retires to the keep as well, and Torren asks around for a barn or a shed to sleep in, and finds a nice shed to hunker down in for the night. And thus we left our heroes last.
Days ago.
Very nice.
So y'all are sleeping.
Hey, hit points get.
Yay!
I forgot that Ellywick offered Torren some ... dots.
Oh yeah.
I offered money.
Uh-huh.
No, there was a bit in there.
Were you
too.
trying to interact with
You
him?
offered him money for it too?
I offered him money for
This is how you end up with all your items on a backpack at the end of the bed.
Gargamel, yeah, that's it.
Fire spells cast all around it so you can see your stuff slowly melt away.
I was just trying to be a good companion. You guys are awful.
Right, so I'm making sexual innuendos, and you're like, well, I offered him money. That doesn't help.
Well, I mean, it helps because then you're
Well, it does.
providing him a livelihood.
You also have a stack of exhaustion.
Yep.
Yes, but you just woke up, so you.
You're helping pay for all of his kids. Those stretch marks didn't make themselves.
Alrighty, folks.
Okay, so we are in Green Nest.
Yep.
We are resting.
Yep.
So, do we ever know what happened of the band of cultists that were coming after us? Did they ever crash against the gates? Because I know we warned the Night's Watch. I didn't have that in my notes, but I know we warned the Watch that they were coming.
You saw the lights getting closer, and then you saw them no longer getting closer. Kind of stalled out at some point in the distance.
Right, we figured that they were making camp because we were exhausted, so they had to be exhausted, but we were just wondering if during the time that we slept, or I guess, sorry, I shouldn't be asking the DM, I should probably be role-playing this to the governor or somebody.
Are you saying you're now awake?
Well, yeah, I guess we could role-play our dreams, but
There
yeah,
were no dreams.
let's wake up. So, yeah, if we wake up, I think one of my first goals is going to be to find either the governor or a watchman or something, and ask if Green Nest has had any sight of the cultists.
So you're gonna go look for Governor Nighthill?
Or a watchman, because I don't know, what time is it now when we wake up?
It would be 7 in the morning.
Yeah, it might be a little bit early, so I'm going to go ahead and try to find somebody with some military background and ask if they've heard anything about this or know any situations.
I would like to sleep a little longer than 7.
Well, that sucks for you. Zerevex, you're in the keep though, or Zerevex. Moroz, you're in the keep though, right?
I'm with Varga. I think we went. No, I'm actually at the Priest Guild, I guess.
So
All I have in my notes is that she was in the Priest Guild. I went to go find her, and I met up with her and then retired. I don't know where we retired to, honestly.
I've got brackets from Zerevex to Lark saying keep, Torren, sleep and shed. And then I have brackets from Ellywick to somewhere below or close to Moroz's name, but I can't tell if it was included or not. So I'm going to go with you're in the tavern.
Yeah, probably. I think we're both in the because I think Ellywick, Torren, and I were all in the tavern at one point. Ellywick, I believe, retired in the tavern. Torren found a shed. Zerevex and Lark are both at the keep, so I'm probably back at the tavern with Varga.
Okay. So if you're looking for a guard or a watchman, you would find one down in the main bar area eating some breakfast.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna look for somebody posted. I'm not gonna look for somebody lollygagging around the tavern. I want the freshest intel, so I would go towards again, without any map of what this place looks like. I have no idea how big or small this town is, so I don't know how close the tavern is to the walls, but I want to head to the walls and see if anyone saw any. Does that all make sense?
For picture.
Oh goodness.
Whoa! What on earth?
I
Or why do
remember
we have
this.
Trogdor killing us?
I remember drawing Trogdor
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
with a series of V's
It was a blue dragon.
and a big muscly arm. Oh
Aw.
no!
So first off, you can probably tell
He's still there.
there.
He's still
I
there.
just deleted the image and put it on top.
He's still there. There's an eyebrow.
So that's an idea of the size of the town. I mean, it's got a keep, but the town around it's pretty small. What was your actual question?
So I'm going to head to the walls and try to find a guard and ask if they've seen any sight of the cultists.
So you head to the walls and you see a few watchmen there posted. How are you asking for some cultists?
Okay, so I'll say as we came in last night, we warned the governor that there were some cultists after us. So I was wondering if you've seen any sight of any campfires, lights on the horizon, or any other people approaching that might be cultists.
So the watchman nods, gives you a curt nod, and goes, "Yes, we saw their lights in the distance, but they never came very close. We think they headed south of here on the main road."
Okay, so I'm going to give him some tactical details that we know the camp had at least 80 people! I know, less after.
76.
Yeah, 76 people! We know that it had around 76 people, that they were drunk, and they've probably pushed themselves very hard, but they know that we took some of them out, so they might be coming back for retribution.
He nods and goes, it did appear to be quite a mob of people, but we didn't see them make camp. We just saw them go south down the main road.
Gotcha. So do you think they're headed away from Green Nest?
The guard looks at you and says, "Yes, they didn't come back to town at the very least."
Okay.
I want to pick the rice.
I thought you were sleeping in, lazy.
Yeah, what's going on here?
You said I could pick rice.
I thought you said you didn't want to be conscious right now.
Okay, when I wake up in 2 hours, I'll pick rice.
Wake up, the rice is gone. Turns out it was ready to be picked.
Rice was burned by the dragon.
No, there's water. It's fine.
You've been playing too much Divinity. Okay, so you've gotten your answers. Ellywick, what are you doing in the wee hours of 7 a.m.?
I'll probably be waking up and communing with nature just to see how things are feeling in the general vicinity, and prepping my spells and everything since I was too tired to do it all the night before.
You commune with nature, and you feel as if you feel a connection to the fields and such. You can almost tell when they're ready. Yeah. Everything feels quiet, calm, peaceful.
Okay, so I'm not feeling any of the horde that was after our group.
What word did you say?
The horde of people that was after our group, I'm not feeling any of that.
She's interacting with the fields.
Is that all I'm interacting with are fields?
Well, Torren wouldn't give
I only get
any
plants
interaction, so I guess you got to interact with some fields.
Yes, the general wildlife, there's some birds, there's some general small creatures, beasts, birds, and such. But you find that there's nothing malicious, no odd stillness, no anything that would out.
Okay. Then I'll prep my spells and head downstairs for breakfast.
Perfect. You see a watchman at the bar.
Is there anybody else around the bar?
There's a chef that is happily making omelets, other breakfast foods like pancakes,
Okay.
hotcakes.
I will head up to the bar and
Taiyaki is being made.
what?
Found it.
Taiyaki. Sean calls shenanigans. Taiyaki?
Okay, then I'm gonna head up to the bar and say to the chef, and being in the general vicinity of the guard. You guys aren't in there. So I'm gonna go up to the bar and say, "Good morning. Do you have any specials?"
The chef looks at you, and you hear a stream of words you don't recognize, and he throws his hands up a lot. No, he says, "Good morning, lass. What can I help you with?"
Oh, what do you have special for breakfast?
We
Do
have,
you have a chef special?
we have taiyaki.
What's that?
He shows you a pastry. John, how do I spell taiyaki?
Not helping
Okay.
you here.
Taiyaki. Taiyaki.
Oh, I'll have that.
He shows you a picture. Unless somebody else has already shown. Copy, link, address. Paste link. And click on that for what taiyaki looks like. So he shows you some taiyaki and tells you, it's filled with red bean paste, lady. Or lass, not lady. Or can I tempt you with my maple pecan pancakes?
I'll have one of each.
So he nods and says, that'll be 1 silver.
Okay.
And I need you to make your roll.
Yep. Where is...
So you feel ravenous.
Oh no.
To the point where you know that one of each is not going to satisfy you.
rolling for damage. Yep. Seems about
That
right.
seems accurate.
Can I play this as like I get my stuff and then I just ask for more after I finish it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's what I will do is I will have that in front of me and be eating and turn to the guard and say as I'm eating, throwing food in my mouth, good morning, have you had any of this yet? It's delicious.
The watchman, who looks very exhausted, you can assume that he probably had the night shift and has just come in from the walls. Was sitting down for your breakfast. When was the last time you ate?
Oh, I think I had a bit of a snack last night, but we've been on the out adventuring for the past few days. How long has it been? I lost track of exactly how long it was that we were out doing that.
I think it's close to like 10 days.
Yeah, we've been out for almost a
10 days.
fortnight, searching for some of the cultists. So
10
yeah,
days
I'm,
is not a
I'm a bit
fortnight.
exhausted and hungry.
No, 10 days is a 10 day.
4 days or 40 days is a fortnight.
10 days is a 10 day.
A fortnight
How's
is slightly
40 days
longer
a
than a
fortnight?
month.
Fortnight is 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was 14 days.
Yeah.
What? I thought it
A
was.
fortnight is 14 days.
Oh.
So that's why I said almost a fortnight.
Oh goodness. I guess I'm wrong.
Okay, one way or another, a 10 days out, 10 days anything is a 10 day.
Okay, I didn't know there were such things as a 10 day. Then I will just correct my.
4 days ago.
I will shame you if they have it 4 days ago.
We've been out for a 10 day, and I didn't really get a chance to eat much last night before I
Offered my bed to Torren.
passed out last night. And I'll be offering some bits to Barzu as well as I'm eating.
Okay, make me a roll for how many taiyaki you're going to eat.
What do you want me to roll? A roll 20?
Roll a percent out of that. 100.
What?
Watch her
Not
get,
fair.
watch her get 100.
Not okay. This seems ridiculous. I don't think I would eat that much.
Spent 43 silver on food.
It's 10 silver per gold piece.
Yeah.
Oh, two. Making me do math in the evening. That's not okay.
Right down 43 silver. Not a lot of gold since.
Oh, I'll just do 5 and tip the bartender.
Okay, because you can think of this way that you bought 43 silver pieces worth of food. Whether or not you ate all of that is up to you.
Okay. Can I stash them? Are the taiyaki things that go well in a bag?
You would probably be able to stash them for at least 2 days.
Okay.
I don't know about anything past 2 days.
Yeah, but
And
at least I've
easy.
got something that I can snack on as I'm going through the.
They ones would keep for a week or two. They have preserved it, etc.
Yeah, but that's modern day ones are like Twinkies.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, that's a side debate. Side note, I want a taiyaki press to make
But with the bread maker.
show your face. Okay.
So
What
I
else
tell
do
them
you-
that I've been out for a 10 day, as I'm eating.
You're feeding Barzu. Barzu's
I'm
eating
feeding
a lot.
Barzu, and I'm asking for more, periodically as I'm doing this discussion.
Yep.
So what are you out here for?
He says, I just came in from the wall. There was a lot of activity last night.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Well,
Can I
if
buy
you were,
you a beer?
it's 7 a.m.
Yeah, but if you just got out from the wall last night.
So the innkeeper or the bartender says, no beer in the morning, only water. You need this, Jameson. And gives him a water, or what you assume to be water.
So Ellywick tries to interact with Torren, who used to be William, and now she's trying to get someone drunk early in the morning.
Oh my god.
Ellywick needs some interaction. Good lord.
Apparently, she's desperate.
I am not.
She's even interacting with Fields.
Yeah, I've got some questions.
I'm just trying to be a nice person. There's nothing sexual about my interactions. Stop it.
All I said was interact.
I think that the guard would like a show as well. So there's a bar top.
What morale is low because the town was just recently ravaged by a dragon and a bunch of bandits.
Okay, so back to what I was saying as the watchman. Oh, no beer this early, I think. I'll be going to bed after this. But didn't you see the lights? If you were out for a 10-day, you would have seen them. A whole horde of people going south of town. South towards Waterdeep.
Yeah, we did see them. Do you know what happened to them? Where they went? Do you know what's happening in Waterdeep?
He shakes his head and goes, "Don't know what's happened at Waterdeep, but if it's like what happened here, I feel bad for the folks, but at least they're gone."
Who's gone? The folks or the cultists?
He kind of like points with his chin and says, "Well, whoever had all the torches, I don't know if it was cultists. We couldn't see any flags from where we're at, but yeah, whoever has those torches, they all went south."
Okay. Well, that's scary.
He kind of tucks into his food more and he says, "You said you were out. Did you see anything when you were out? Do you know anything about the torches in the night?"
Well, I think they were the cultists chasing some of my team members who we were working to infiltrate the cultist area and got caught.
So he nods again and goes, "Well, that would match what we saw. The torches started to come north towards town, and then they abruptly turned south on the main road." And then he kind of gets up. He goes, "Well, thanks for the chat, lass." And he throws his money down on the bar top. It says, "Thanks for the food. I'm going to go to bed now."
Take care, sleep well.
And he kind of gives a gruff sound like, "Yep," like gruff.
Bartender never went.
Gruff. Bartender never.
Or William is now.
Is he? Is he?
Well, it's an alcoholic William, of course he's there.
What? What's going on?
Just jokes about where William is.
Oh.
Feet in the ground. Okay, so who is next? Torren or Zerevex? We go with Torren then.
Okay.
Torren, it's your turn.
Well, and has Lark actually done anything, or is she just still sleeping?
I'm
Well, she's
sleeping.
the last one to wake up. She said she was sleeping.
Okay.
Torren wakes up what I'm going to assume is a pile of hay in a shed.
Okay.
Then decides he's hungry, so he walks out of the keep and decides to forage for some food.
Torren was not okay. Sure. So you go out and you're foraging. That will eat up most of your morning.
Okay.
Zerevex, what are you doing?
Okay, so when I wake up, I'm going to check on my pet Drake and see if if he's still there, he's hungry or anything.
He's still there. He's kind of in one of those like positions dogs sleep in on their back. So you're just like, what the heck? That's how he's sleeping.
Okay, I'm gonna see about waking him up and getting him to come with me.
Okay. Did you actually name him Mittens?
No, but that seems to be his given name now.
Alright. So Drake number one. So he wakes up and he kind of makes like a grumbly, growly sound. And rolls over again. Goes back to
Alright.
sleep.
Well, then I'm going to just leave him tied to my bed there and head out.
Wait. You're gonna leave that for the cleaning people to find?
Well, if he's refusing to come with me.
This is a side question, but do you just Emily when she just wake up in the morning?
Leaves me tied to the bed.
See you later. You didn't wake up in time. Okay. So in your efforts to tie him up, he would have grumbled and rolled over again and woken up.
Okay, so if he's awake now, I'm gonna, put the rope back on him as a leash, and leave my room and head down to, I guess, down to just the mess hall area.
Okay.
And
So you go down to the Great Hall of the Keep, right? 'Cause you're in the Keep.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of people walking about. Everyone who sees you with the Drake just kind of does a double take, like, wait, what? What is that giant thing with him? And people stand back a little bit. You hear the servants take like large gasps as they see this Drake.
Okay, well, I'm gonna continue going and go and see where I could get some food in the morning.
So you see that there are a few servants standing around. One of the younger boys asks you, "Sir, Governor Nighthill said to see if you need anything. Do you need breakfast?"
Yes, actually, and if you don't mind, a plate of some meat that I could give to Mittens over here.
What type of meat do you need? We've got some rats.
I think rats would be fine.
They have to be dead.
I don't think so. I think he can handle that.
And the kid skips off, returns with some rats in a cage, and a plate of taiyaki for you. So taiyaki for you and a cage of rats for Drake.
Okay, and once he returns with the stuff, I'm going to ask him where would be the best place to go for to get some metal work done.
You're asking the kid this?
Yeah, to see if he knows,
Well, we have a silversmith, and then we have blacksmiths. It depends
Probably the
on
blacksmith.
what.
It'd probably be the blacksmith that I'd want to go to.
Oh, but the silversmith is more fun. And he kind of like points in a direction outside the keep and says, "If you go out there, turn left at the bakery, and then go straight for a little bit, and then you'll see a giant forge, and that's a silversmith, and that's where you should stop. But if you really need to go to the blacksmith, then you should just turn around, and he'll be right there too." And you get the feeling this is just a snot-nosed kid who probably doesn't know much about metalworking.
I thank him, and I toss him a silver coin as a thank you.
I can't hear you.
I thank him and toss him a silver coin.
He looks really excited and goes, silver! Anything to do for the money.
Alright, and then I eat and feed the mittens, and then I'm going to head out towards a blacksmith.
Okay, let's talk about how you're feeding mittens. And where you're feeding mittens. Or describe to me where and how this is going now.
Okay, so whereabouts would I have been at that time?
You would be in the Great Hall of the Keep right now.
Okay, so I would actually go outside to, like, I want to say more like a stable area, or just, off to the side to go feed them.
Good. You would be able to get to a training ground. You would not be allowed into the stables.
Okay, then training ground would be fine.
Okay. Now how are you going to get the rats out of the cage for him?
Well, I think I would just actually take my sword and stab them, and then pull them out once they've stopped moving. Gotta feed them.
I feel like they're probably better if they're wriggling.
So wait, you stab the rats. hold him out and then dangle it in front of Mittens.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I try it with one first to see if he wants it.
So Mittens looks at you very, very confused. He looks very hungry. He's salivating a little bit. And then you perform this maneuver on the rats, and there's that dead rat hanging out the edge. And Mittens just kind of looks like the head tilt of like a confused dog, like, what is going on here?
So he's not whining at all.
He just looks confused by what you did.
Okay, if he doesn't take one of the one I stabbed, then I'm gonna grab one that's fresh and toss it to him.
Alright, are you gonna try to make him do any treats? Or tricks?
No, just feed him right now.
You guys have cats.
They perform tricks.
That's been on their own time. At least ours do. Okay, so when you throw it, he catches it, and he's very excited about it. And he kind of sniffs the dead one again and kind of whines at it and waits for you to throw the others at him, or at least to loose them.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna release them one by one so he can chase them and eat them.
Yep, similar to a cat, he chases, pounces on them, and eats them. You've generated or gathered quite a crowd at this point. A lot of it being younger squires, teenage boys, that type that are out cleaning the training yard. You hear a few people say, I want a drake now.
Alright, and now, so I'm just kind of ignoring the people gathering and just taking care of Mittens.
What was that?
I was just taking care of Mittens, that's all.
Are you telling the crowd that?
No, I'm not really paying attention to them. I'm just taking care of them.
Okay. So you finish feeding him, and you hear a round of applause. Everyone's like, more, come back tomorrow, more.
I wave and walk off towards the blacksmith with Mittens.
The drake is wagging its little tail, which is actually quite a big tail if you think about it.
Yeah, you said he is like 5 feet long?
Yes. Like, it's actually significantly huge tail. So his tail's wagging, you walk off to the blacksmith. Alright, you would be able to do a little bit more before our life woke up. So you make your way to the blacksmith through the crowds of people. You see the silversmith on one side of the street and the blacksmith on the other. What you see is... Did I close that? Hold on, I closed it. I should have. What you see is a male human with red hair and gray eyes. This man is wearing leather armor, which looks well worn. He also has a pair of tongs in one hand and looks to be pulling something out of the furnace.
And that's at the blacksmith or the silversmith?
That is at the blacksmith.
And what about over at the silversmith?
Over at the silversmith, you see a slender man with blonde hair and dark gray eyes. He's wearing banded mail, and you see a halberd kind of leaning up against the wall. There is a black warhorse next to him as well, like kind of like in his little area. You see this big black warhorse standing.
Okay, I'm gonna head to the silversmith instead then.
You get closer and you hear the warhorse neigh back, a little bit spooked by your drake.
Okay. I'm going to keep Mittens off to the side and try and approach more, just giving a wide berth from the horse.
Okay. So you're able to approach this man, What are you gonna do as you approach him?
I want to ask, hail there. I was wondering if you'd be able to make a special request and fashion something for me.
The man looks at you and goes, "Well, that depends on what you need, friend."
I'm actually looking for more of like a harness or chain to go instead of a rope for my pet drake here.
And the drake's a little bit back, right?
Yeah.
So he can obviously see that. And he looks at it and goes, "Well, what do you have in mind? A harness, you say? I've made plenty of harnesses for horses. Wilfra here has a harness I've made."
I'm looking for something that would more where I could put it on him. I wouldn't have to worry about it coming off, if he was to, slide backwards, so it wouldn't just fall right off his head. Maybe something that goes around his front arms and just, around his neck as well, in a full case, full enclosure there, and then at least a sturdy enough chain or some leash that would be usable.
So he nods and says, "And any decorations you would like?"
What type of decorations would you are you insisting here?
We can do different gems, we can do different cuts, and we can do different types of metal, such as braiding.
What would be your recommendation on there? What do you think would look the best?
So the man thinks for a second and says, "Well, braiding would probably be the best for the leash part, and we can do a series of diamond cuts for the main part. And then we could do some gems, I have a few, and put the whole piece together. 10 gold would be the piece cost, and I can have it to you in today."
That sounds quite fair. Here's the 10 gold. And I hand it to him.
He nods and says, "I'll need to get close enough to your drake to measure him out."
He should be harmless enough. I walk over and kneel down beside Mittens and just start petting his head.
This is a pet owner that has taken your cat to the vet today.
One of our viewers wants to know if you're making him a BDSM harness.
No.
Crack with it. Okay, so he goes through and he measures out the drake. Mittens gets a little bit off-put as the silversmith does his work.
Okay, I'm gonna hand him some jerky from my backpack.
Alright, so this immediately pacifies him, and the silversmith is able to finish going through and taking his measurements. He says, "One day, come back tomorrow morning, I'll have it done."
Alright, thank you.
And he gives you a nod.
And then from there, I guess I'm just going to wander around and see if there's a shop that I'd be able to go to that looks like they'd have some just supplies.
Anyway, so we're gonna cut to Lark now.
Yep.
And what time is it?
9 o'clock. On the dot.
Okay, I'll start to wake up then.
Okay, when do you finish waking up?
About 15 minutes from now.
Okay, we'll fast forward that part.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll out of bed, and is Tabitha there?
Tabitha is there.
Has Tabitha fed last night?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of roll out of bed, kind of rubbing the sleep out of my eyes. My hair is a mess and everything. I'm just like kind of slogging my way downstairs and looking for someone to to feed me breakfast. Is there any servants around that I see?
So there are a few servants around. You see a few pages and squires and such, and you see a cleaning staff as well.
Okay, I'm gonna wave down a squire, or if they're running by, I'm gonna grab him by his collar and pull him back, and just say, "I need breakfast."
Okay. And the squire looks at you and goes, "Yes, we'll get it right away to you. What do you want, ma'am?"
Scrambled eggs and bacon.
He goes, "I'll check with the chef." And he kind of stutters along as he goes, and he disappears. About a half hour later, he reappears, assuming you haven't really moved and gone anywhere.
No, I probably just went back to my room.
So he reappears in your room with the little closure, and it's got your food inside, and it's fluffy golden eggs, perfect amount of butter, and some bacon laid out beside it. He goes, "Here you go, ma'am," and then immediately disappears.
Okay, I'm going to, of course, eat all of my food, and I'll give Tabitha some bacon, see if she wants any.
So Tabitha happily takes some of your bacon. She bats it around a little bit on the floor, pushes it under things, then eats it.
Okay, then I guess I'll go downstairs to see if I can find anyone else in our group.
Okay. So you go downstairs. You don't see anybody. At this point in time, Zerevex is out on the town, and no other party members are inside the building.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna walk outside. Do I see the rice paddies?
No, you have to go outside of the main
Well-
keep. Why?
How far outside of the main keep?
They would be just outside, so you could go for like.
And do I know that they're there?
Just a quarter past the crazy woman.
I mean, you would have passed by them. I mean, they were on fire, but you would have passed by them when the town was under siege.
That seems like too much effort for rice, for the possibility of rice.
Laziest thief ever.
Yeah. I
You
feel like
were
I'm gonna-
all caught up on these rice patties.
Well, I feel like I'm gonna get there and you're gonna say they're not ready to be picked. Or it's actually, like onions or something.
They were onions all along.
They were leeks.
So I'm just gonna, I guess, sit around the main center of the keep and wait for people to find me.
Okay, so you and Tabitha are just chilling out there.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
Okay, well, so you're chilling. What are you doing, Moroz? Keiko, come here.
Let's see. So, after I talked to the guard on duty hours before our lazy thief decided to wake her butt up, I guess I will head back towards the tavern. We never really made a meeting point. So actually, we've got the tavern and the keep. Or there are two places where everyone is. I guess. Since it's sort of the beginning of the day, I'll go ahead and try to find the blacksmith and see if he's working on anything and see if I can take note and learn stuff. If there is a blacksmith. Actually, if I'm going to the blacksmith, not that I'm telling you what to do, but I would think I'd run into Zerevex there.
You would, as long as you chose to acknowledge him.
I see Zerevex and refuse to acknowledge him. No.
Yeah, I don't know what you do in your secret jaunt to blacksmiths.
Right. So no, if I go, I'm trying to head towards the blacksmith. Do I see Zerevex?
Yes, you would see Zerevex already at the silversmith.
Okay. Fantastic. Oh, silversmith. He did go to the silversmith?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to change my
They're right across the street from each other.
notes.
Yeah, it's not like you have to walk very far.
Okay, so I guess no, I would be heading to the blacksmith, but if I see Zerevex, I would try to go meet up with him.
Okay, so you would watch the fitting of the Drake.
So
you
yeah,
would be
I'll
right at the end
when I
of
see
that.
him, I'm gonna ask. So what are you doing here?
I figured since I'm going to be in a populated area, that mittens here actually needs a proper harness in order to be brought out in public.
So you're going to a silversmith?
Well, I figured it would look better and make it more presentable for people.
Huh. First world problems. Cool. So I guess at that point, I just, I mean, not that, you know, I'm obviously interested in armor, but I'm just as equally interested in inlays and encrusting of gems and whatnot. So I'll try to take note of some of the minute handiwork that this fellow's doing.
Yeah, so you see this fellow working on a very fancy braid. You would assume from the conversation you overheard, this is probably the beginning of the. It's very delicate and intricate work. But you also see an apprentice working on setting some gems into a few settings, such as for rings and for necklaces.
Okay.
What appears to be
I'll stroke my dragonborn chin and go, yes, yes, and make noises like that.
the apprentices kind of watch you like, okay.
So he's watching me.
Yeah, like, why are you watching me and not the master?
Okay, well, so actually, no, I got something for this. So, having studied a lot of stuff that I have, when he pays more attention to me than his work, I'm going to say, shouldn't you be focusing on your work?
Notice that these apprentices are no longer not really focusing on the work, but they're also trying to show off at this point. Some of the work is beginning to suffer.
Well, no, I'm saying if he's looking at me, I would be telling him again, because if he's trying to learn a discipline, I would realize that he's acting out and say, shouldn't you be focusing on your work?
Upon hearing that, the master silversmith turns and looks at the boys that are screwing around, basically, and say, "Buck, Burge, get back to work."
Wait, what was the first guy's name?
Buck.
Buck. That's exactly what it sounded like both times.
Oh my
Buck,
goodness.
bitch, get back to your work.
Oh boy.
I swear to God, I don't know if it's your microphone or what, but it did not sound like Buck.
It's probably because I was laughing as I said it. Buck and Birch.
It still doesn't sound like Buck.
It's Duck and Birch.
Who would name a character Duck?
Show
Duck
your face, I mean
Birch.
Duck. Renaming it to Duck.
What the buck, man? Come on, pay attention to what you're doing.
Apparently, I can't say that word.
It's just the way that your mic picks it up. It seriously sounds like fuck.
Oh boy. Okay.
Maybe
so
your mind.
Duck and Birch, the two children, are scolded by the master and they get back to work. They shoot you kind of hateful glares as they have obviously been told off.
All right, and I'm gonna look back at him like, "What, Birch?"
Birch looks at you and says, "We're going to have to clean this."
No, I
table."
didn't say that. I'm giving them a look like, "What, Birch? What, bitch?" Yeah.
Yeah. So like under his breath, he's like, "We're going to have to clean the stable again."
Let that be a lesson to you.
Are you saying that loud?
Yeah, no. If I hear that, I'm definitely gonna be like, "Yeah, let that be a lesson to you." Because again, having gone through all the stuff that I have no tolerance for people that don't strive for excellence.
Alright, so his face grows red and he says, "Dragon scum, always pushing around here, trying to be the best, always causing problems," and picks up his work and heads to the back.
Okay, at that point, I'm going to go talk to his master and I say, "So I really admire what you're doing. I'm trying to get into the business of making armor, and obviously I would appreciate any type of fine craftsmanship, and it clearly seems like you have some. But the men that you employ are quite lacking. I certainly hope that you can bring them in line."
The master laughs and goes, "Men, they're just hardly boys, 11 summers old, and they just watched their town get sacked."
True, they may
Okay.
be boys, but if you ever expect them to be men, you need to set an example for them.
The silversmith straightens and says, "Don't tell me how to treat my apprentices. Their town was sacked last night. Or not last night, 10 days ago. They lost family and they lost friends."
Yes, and we went after those people. I know well what you're facing, but That's no excuse for poor workmanship.
You can see that he's now puffing his chest and he looks upset. And he says to you, I have no quarrel with you, but I do have a quarrel with those that pick fights with my apprentices. They are young. They should be treated as young. They will learn, but you have to give them time. Basically, he scolded you.
Yeah, I was young too, and now I'm a man, and I'm the one going after things. I'm not sitting here back making excuses for people that don't want to do their jobs. And I go ahead and walk off because I say there's nothing more for me to learn here.
You see the silversmith draw a quick sketch of your face and put an X through it near the front entrance of his shop.
That's fine. I prefer functional over frou-frou any day.
Good. So that is what you've done.
So, well, yeah, after he does all that crap, I'm going to walk over to the blacksmith and see if he's working on anything.
So the blacksmith is pulling metal out of the fire with tongs and hammering it. You don't recognize what he's working on. You can't tell if it's decorational or not.
Okay.
Don't draw a duck. Do not draw a duck.
That's my attempt at a dragon.
Goodness. Take away your privileges.
How will I draw stuff then?
Alright, so again, you see that he's pulling out different things. You can't really make out what he's working on. It could be decorational, it could be functional. Are you going to say anything to him?
No, for the moment, I'm just going to observe.
Alright, so you...
I don't want to interrupt him.
Yeah, so this man does not look up at you. You see his red hair tangled. It looks like he's been sweating for quite some time. His gray eyes are totally and obviously focused on the work in front of him. There's a rhythm to his hammering of the metal, and eventually you start to see what appears to be a shield take shape.
Okay, cool. So red hair, Smith.
Yeah.
Is Heath Ledger anywhere around? Sorry, that's a tale for a different night. Knight's Tale.
Oh, I know. I was trying to figure out. I know, Evelyn. I know.
All right. So anyway, no. So this really interests me because I've been focusing on armor and everything, but obviously weapons or shields are also of interest. So this is something new, and I am very intrigued and watching intently. But again, trying not to interrupt his rhythm or whatever he's doing.
Yep. So he does not pay you any attention. He continues through. You would say he's about halfway through with his shield, and that would get you to the point where Lark is at currently. So then we will go to Torren. Torren, you've been out collecting food. You've been able to find a deer. What are you doing with the deer?
Cutting off pieces, building a small fire and cooking it.
Oh, so you eat it raw or not?
I live out in the wild. I'm not a savage.
Oh, you're so close. Okay. What else are you doing? Eat your food.
Yes.
Then what?
And then I
Dance or redance?
attempt to preserve what's left of it.
You have salt?
So
What do you have? What are you going to preserve it with? Sugar?
I was just going to. Considering what's around, do I have the ability to just smoke it right then and there?
Sure, it's going to take a few hours.
Well, I've been out a few hours. What's a few more hours?
You're able to start smoking your meat. I will need you to also make me. So you're obviously going to be producing a hefty amount of smoke and smell from this. I will need you to make me a roll to see if anything.
What kind of roll?
A d20. Flat. Okay, we'll come back to this later. Zerevex.
So wait, what exactly did Torren do?
He was smoking meat in the wild.
Okay, cool.
Wild. Okay, Zerevex, it's your turn.
Alright, so I'm just trying to find a supply shop or someplace where I can get some more supplies.
Sure, you can acknowledge that Moroz came to chat.
Yeah, I actually would have. I want to ask Moroz if he'd be able to teach me some draconic words so I'd be able to give commands to mittens.
Okay, so is this before or after well, first of all, so I saw Zerevex, went over, talked to him, had some words with the silversmith, and then went over to the blacksmith. So of those three situations, meeting you beforehand, talking with silversmith, and going to the blacksmith, which one of these are you choosing?
I would have talked to you basically right when I ran into you before leaving the silversmith and you talking to the silversmith.
Okay. So when he asked me that, I'll say, yeah, of course, I'd be happy to. It seems I don't think that he is a very complex thinker, if you get my drift, but he does seem to understand some basic commands, so I'll definitely teach you those at some point. And I've done in my military training, I've dealt with various service animals and whatnot, so I've got a decent handle on how to train things. So perhaps I can help you out that way as well. Totally making stuff up.
Well,
It
and I have
fits.
to come up with some draconic words for things like sit, stay, roll over. Also attack. It's like combat.
There you go.
Okay. So, Zerevex, what would you done after that then?
I would probably go with
Then
Russian
I
stuff.
would have went to look for a shop.
Okay.
So, question: did you see my interaction with the silversmith?
I
Or-
probably would have seen part of it, or like once you had gone and started to watch them, seeing as how you've been trying to get into that, I would have probably just left you there since you're intent on that.
Okay.
Okay. So you are able to see a small little trader house. It's got a few different tightly crowded buildings around it, and what appears to be a public garden. You see on the outside of it, there's a little sign that looks as if that it would be a magic shop or a general goods shop. Got a wand on one side and a shield on the other, and then a picture of food in a window.
Okay. I'm going to. Is there a place where I could put mittens where he wouldn't be able to get away right away?
Not easily. You'd have to probably take him into the shop.
Okay, then I'm gonna bring him in with me, but I'm gonna keep the leash pretty close to me so he can't really move too far away from me.
Okay, so you did not restrain his tail, and that is what is going crazy as he enters this place and all these different smells. You smell, as you enter, you see a few tinctures that are golden and they smell very spicy. You see other bags and such, and they have different smells. Some of them smell of lavender, some of them smell of roses, some of them smell of corn, some of them smell of rice.
Okay, I'm going to try and calm mittens down once we get inside, just by kneeling down in front of them and trying to kind of stop them.
So Mittens kind of gets the gist and kind of calms down a little bit. His tail is still wagging, but he's still, a little excited to be there.
And then I'm going to.
What were you going to do?
I'm gonna go and talk to the merchant there and see what he has to offer.
So you see a young man behind the counter. He looks kind of suspiciously at you and says, "Oh, I've got the different foodstuffs, a few different special potions." Gestures over at the golden tincture. And says, "And then for the really adventurous, I have grab bags."
He has what?
Grab bags.
Are you saying crab or grab?
Yeah, like I said, grab. Sorry, apparently allergies are not settling well in my face. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm going to see about buying some meat from him.
He wants to know. He goes, "Do you want it cured or do you want something else? And if you want it cured, do you want spices or do you want salt?"
Give me cured, 3 with spices, and 7 with salt.
He nods and pulls them out and says, "1 gold for the meat, and like total for the meat." And it says, "Anything else I can help you with?"
How much is a grab bag?
1 gold per grab bag.
I'm going to grab 3 of them.
Grab 3 of them. Okay. So he pulls out these they're parchment bags, and they actually appear to be a pretty decent size. So you're getting 3 grab bags.
Yeah.
And then looking at Mittens, the young man says, "I have a different present for you as well, little. Well, yes, you're not little." And then pulls out what are probably dog treats and hands them over to you and says, "Here, I usually give 1, but you can give them 6."
Okay, I'm gonna try giving 2 of them right away to Mittens and see if he likes them.
Mittens loves them. In fact, he watches your hand very closely. If you put your hand up, he immediately sits down for it.
How much would it cost for like a bag of 25 of these?
The guy scratches his chin and says, "Well, my wife makes them for us, and it doesn't cost too much, so 25, 6 copper."
Oh, I toss him a silver.
I feel like Tamora really wants you to get a dog IRL.
She must be talking to Lark a lot.
As you interact with this person, he makes some other interaction that really makes your thing want to act like a dog. Don't you want a dog? So what all was in those bags, though?
You haven't opened them yet.
Well, you were talking about scents and whatnot. They're just
Okay.
like, are they grab bags of food or just fun things? Or I'm trying to make notes here.
Yeah, no, if he opens them, I'll tell you.
Okay, he purchases some nice grab bags. That's exciting.
Hey, it ruins the surprise if I tell you before he opens them.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask him what does he have healing potions? Is that what the tinctures are? Or?
He didn't tell you what they were, just that they were there and they smelled spicy.
Okay. Do you happen to have any healing potions or anything along that line?
He kind of looks at you and says, "Yep, far wall on the left. They're not the golden tincture."
And how much are they?
I should know that one. Hold on. They're always more expensive than.
It's like buying red scrolls in DOS.
Let's go with 40 copper. Or silver, however you want to do that math.
Wait, 40 copper? Or 40 silver? Or what?
Let's go with 47 silver.
47 silver per healing potion?
Yep.
How many does he have?
It's 4. You
Then
do
I'm
notice that these are not what you. They are not the correct colors.
Oh. Can I do like an my skills are really messed up right now. Can I do like an insight into that and tell him that they don't look like proper healing potions?
Yeah, you can do an insight check. So you would notice that these are significant. These appear to be very, very dilute. So whereas a normal healing potion would be 50 gold pieces for a reason, these would probably be worth their price at such a dilute concentration.
These don't look very good at all. How can you even bother selling these?
He kind of looks at you and goes, "What are you trying to say about that? I made those myself."
Then you need to increase the herbs that you're using in them for it. Otherwise, they're not going to be very effective.
So he kind of blushes and says, "Nobody around here buys healing potions. But if you want some more concentrated ones," he pulls some from the back, and these are the correct color. He goes, "Look, I'll give them to you for 40 gold pieces. I only have 10.
I'll take 3 of them.
Okay, you're taking 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 at 40 gold pieces. Okay. And he says, "Pleasure doing business with you."
Thanks. And I'm going to leave.
Okay. Ellywick, let's go to you.
Okay. So I'm still at the bar, and I'm gonna turn to bartender or chef, whoever's there at the moment, and ask them if they know where Sava and Ty are.
Who are you asking?
If there's anybody, since I know they work at that facility, I wanted to ask either the bartender or the chef, whoever is in the near vicinity, if they know where they are, or when they'll be in.
Alright, so you ask the bartender, and he kind of looks at you and goes, "Sava and Ty," and he looks side to side and goes, "They're not really daylight people."
Oh, that makes sense. I just wasn't sure when their hours were. I needed to get back with them to thank them for their help yesterday.
He nods and says, 1 hour after sunset, they'll be back in the tavern.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. And I mean, I guess I don't really know what to do around town. I guess I'll pack away like 20 of my pastries. Sorry.
So
Something
you're
weird
gonna pack
opened
like
up.
20 of them?
What?
20 of them?
Yeah, I don't think I would have eaten all 43 or whatever it was. What was it?
47.
47.
Okay.
Um,
So you've packed them away. Where are you gonna go?
Do I see any of my, like, would I see any of my team members around anywhere? Or, because I mean, don't we need to get back to doing things, so that would be my focus, is making sure I get back to doing things. But if there's nobody around, I guess I'd probably head towards, are there any druid Are there any druid areas?
There's some fields of unknown plantationisms out in the front area, outside the walls.
Okay. Then I guess I will head just out towards the wall. Actually, I think I'll ask the bartender where, if he knows of any druid groups in the area.
Wait, so how are you asking the bartender this?
Let me think. I don't know. Guess let me just. I guess I'd just be like, sir, do you know of any druidic people around here?
Let's see, he goes, Druidic people? What are you trying to get at with that?
Well, you see, I'm training for being a druid, and I just was looking for other people to discuss with.
I hear an echo.
Hmm.
So okay, so you are asking this guy if there are other druids and if you are a druid in training.
Yeah.
So he looks at you and says, well, don't know much about those folk. They don't come into town very often. But there is a person named Kata, and she might be able to help. You can usually find her outside of town by the large oak tree.
Thank you very much, sir.
He nods and goes, not sure if she's a druid, or maybe she just likes trees.
Well, I love trees too, so sounds like a good place to start. Kata, so
K-A-D-A.
like that?
Yep.
Okay, then I guess I'll just start wandering that way.
Alright, so you see a lady, her face is covered. You can't quite make out anything about her. She's wearing a dark cloak, kind of drapes around her, and she's by the tree. You wouldn't know it was a woman if the bartender hadn't told you it.
And she's just sitting there or anything? Like, do I notice anything else?
She's leaning up against the tree. You would notice that she's touching it, but you can't make out too much.
Are there a lot of, what kind of tree is it? Like, are there a lot of trees around, or?
There is a single large oak tree standing on its own in this very wide area. The fields are around it, but this one oak tree is much, much larger. It's probably a few hundred years old, while all the others are probably somewhere around 100.
Okay, and does she look like she's meditating, or?
You would either have to make me a roll, or you'd have to get closer.
How far away am I?
You're about 200 feet away from her.
Then I guess I'd wander up about another 100 feet closer just to see.
Okay. Make me a roll now that you're 100 feet closer.
Perception.
Yep, perception.
I don't know why that did that twice. I only clicked once.
Both times it wasn't good for you. So you can't really make much out from what is going on. You do see that she's leaning up against it. Her palms are flat against the tree, but you can't make out more than that.
Well, I don't really want to interrupt her while she's doing whatever she's doing. So I think I will just sit down cross-legged and start meditating and just reaching out to the same tree and the surrounding areas.
And you're a sprout of the Emerald Enclave, correct?
Yeah.
So she doesn't look at you, but she did say, Sprout, welcome to the Grand Tree. Her eyes are closed. She's continuing to be against this tree.
And she spoke this out loud?
Did speak this out loud.
May I approach?
Always. You are always welcome near the oak.
Okay. Then I'm gonna walk up to the oak and around on a little bit away from her. I'm gonna go ahead and approach the oak and do the same thing.
Do you touch the oak?
Yes.
You touch the oak and you hear a song. You can't make out words. In fact, you're not sure if there are any. But the tone and the tune that fill your mind are all encompassing and they fill and surround you at the same time. How do you react?
I think I would just relax into it and try to become part of it as much as possible.
Okay. So you feel your presence lengthen up the tree, reach out to the branches. You feel the tickling of the wind against the leaves, and you feel words and whispers. And in the words and in the whispers, you hear water deep, water deep, water deep, as if the earth around you is chanting water deep.
Is it chanting it in a way that sounds like it's trying to lean strength that way, or it's sadness over it?
It sounds as if there's 1,000 voices on the wind, and all of them are saying the word water.
Okay. I'm going to say to Kata, does Waterdeep need help? I heard mention that there were some evil heading that way.
So Kata pulls back from the tree and says, I do not know, Sprout. However, what whispers and words are carried on the wind are, and she kind of looks at you and she says, well, surely you know how the wind works. Our words will be traveling here from our mouths, and then some tree down there, following the wind path, she kind of points and says, we'll hear it. So some druid in some circle, may I hear our words? And she pauses for a moment and says, there are many voices somewhere saying Waterdeep, but that is all we know.
No, I didn't understand how the wind worked until now. You'll ruin this.
You know, right? Emily's been corrupted. Okay, so she tells you that and kind of nods and says, "You are young, but you will learn." She says, "But we cannot know what is happening in Waterdeep, not from just the wind, but perhaps we should check it out." And she looks at you as if to say, by we, I mean you.
Right. Well, I did hear that from another that it looked like some torches were headed that way, and I feel like it would probably be important for my group and I to head that way. Thank you so much for what you've taught me. Will you be in this area if I return?
The lady in front of you kind of shrugs and says, "Perhaps I'll be in another grove. We shall see, young sprout. But if you return, you can always search for me."
Thank you.
Yeah, you get the feeling she speaks a lot in riddles.
Right.
Except when she told you about how it would work. She was clear.
Yeah. Which was good because I'm young and stupid.
Well, I mean, you said it, so.
Right?
Alrighty. So yeah.
Then I'm gonna probably head back towards town and see
You're
if
gonna
I
head
can't
towards-
find my team members.
Are you gonna head towards the keep, or are you gonna go to a shop? You would probably have like one more place you could stop before we would say we are all at the same time now.
I guess I would.
Yeah.
Probably see if I could head back towards, like, was the temple there or was that somewhere else? I'm sorry. Took really poor notes.
There is a temple of Shantae.
Yeah. Then I think I'll head that way.
Okay. So you go to the temple and they're doing their normal temple around.
Wait, what? You kind of cut out.
You go to the temple and you see the priests and priestesses going about their duties, and they aren't paying you much attention or mind.
Does it look like there's anybody that would be easy to talk to without interrupting anybody, or?
So they all appear to be doing their frantic skirting around. Perhaps there is something occurring later in the day that they're all preparing for.
Then I will just stop somebody that doesn't seem like they're rushing as much.
Okay, so you find some poor sucker that's been tasked with cleaning the floors.
Hi. Do you know what everyone's running around so much for?
He looks at you and says, "You mean why I have to clean this floor?"
Well,
Well,
yes.
there is a celebration tonight for those of us in the temple. It's to sanctify the temple again, but it's going to be a feast for all of the keep. All the people, they're going to come down here, and we'll sanctify everything, but everyone's invited. And he says in a mocking tone, "But there can't be no dirty floors, apparently." And he does not seem to be eager to get back to his work.
What all does sanctifying the temple take?
It's the
Do
Temple
they
of
perform
Shay.
some kind of ceremony?
What?
Sorry, this is Temple of Shay, right?
Shantae.
Shantae.
Dante.
All the RuPaul jokes. Yeah.
what kind of ceremonies do they do to sanctify?
He looks at you and goes, well, there's a lot of praying, and then there's a lot of eating, but the praying's mostly the sanctifying part. Most of the normal folk around here in Green Nest don't come for that. They just come for the cookout afterwards.
That does sound delicious. Will you be there?
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh,
Do you need to interact with him?
Oh, you're interacting with
God, I didn't wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That was totally.
alligators and fields spurn you, so now you're just going from some lowly page scrubbing a floor.
Seriously, poor guy's been having a rough day. And he's like, well, yeah, I'll be there. Are you gonna be there? And he looks nervous and his cheeks blush.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I don't know. I have to check with the rest of my team members as to what's going on tonight. We may
yes,
have
we'll
to
let you
make...
interact with them. Fine.
Oh my god.
He's like, oh, well, you know, if you come, it could be a nice time.
How much taller is this guy than me, and how old is he?
You didn't ask that question.
I'm asking you now.
Are you at interaction height of him?
It would be a legal interaction, yes.
No, I'm just like, how old is he a human? Like, this all seems weird.
Worried about interspecies interaction?
Yes.
You appear to be grasping at straws here. It's a shorter human, male, and of a legal age. You would think this person's probably in their mid-20s.
Okay.
You could totally interact. So they're purifying the temple?
Yes, they're sanctifying the
Sanctifying,
temple.
that's right.
Well,
I mean,
do
he's
you
just
happen
like, if
to
you're gonna
know
come,
where Elris wine might be? When?
So he makes a face and says, "He wants your floor scrubbed." It says she's in the back somewhere, and he gets back to scrubbing the floors.
Well, thanks so much for your time. Maybe we will run into each other.
Wink, wink.
No, I'm not winking. Strike that from the record. I am not winking.
There's no other way. Maybe we'll run into each other later. Wink, wink.
I'm just a friendly person. Dear God.
You can head to the back and talk to her.
Okay.
I'm dying. So you go to the back and you see your friend, and she has a picture that is kind of a coppery color, and she appears to be working over it.
I'm gonna approach her and say, "Hello, Elris. How are you doing today?"
So she jumps. She was very into her work and goes, "Oh, Ellywick, you scared me."
My apologies. I just thought I'd pay a visit as we got back from our trek looking for the cultists, and I wanted to stop in and see how things were going. I hear there's a sanctifying ceremony tonight.
So she nods and goes, "Yes, we'll be sanctifying the temple. After what happened with the siege, it's taken us a while to repair the temple, and now we're ready to begin prayers again. Well, not that we stopped, but we'll start them again in this building. How is your time out on the field?"
Rather exhausting. We were able to bring back the person we were searching for, but we didn't quite get all of the treasure, but we did find the cultists hideout and got a little bit of the lay of the land there. However, I think our party split up at one point, and I think some of our party be known that they were there, and the cultists chased after them, and I have a bad feeling they went down to Waterdeep. So I guess I'm just not sure what may be happening down there, but it definitely makes me nervous.
So she frowns and says, I'm sorry to hear about the party member that did not return with you. He was seen going through the town, but he was not with you.
Who?
She kind of makes a face. I'm sorry, I don't know what his name was, but the human, a mage of some sort?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
what you know what happened to him?
No,
Where he went?
only what I've heard, that he was seen going to town. He did stop at the tavern for a while.
Well, that sounds about right. He got he got separated from our group earlier on, and we weren't sure what happened to him. Do you know if after he left the tavern, if he was okay?
I only know that the people talked of him going to the tavern, drinking all the beer and wine that was available, and leaving. He was at least well enough when he left this town.
Well, that's good then that was
Okay.
yeah. Sorry, I was reading what you guys were saying.
The crap we're giving you off to the side. Yes, but you asked about Waterdeep. No, I haven't heard anything that's happening down there. There's a temple down there, and we could send word to our sisters and brothers, but it would take a few days to return to us.
Well, it might not be a bad idea, but I think I may try to convince my team to head that way. Since it may be their fault that that there may be something going on down there.
So she looks concerned and says, What do you mean it could be their fault? Ellywick, what do you think is happening in Waterdeep? And she's very serious, and she says,
Well, like I said, the part of our team split up when we were at the hideout of the cultists, and the cultists found them as they were trying to finish up part of their mission and chased them out, and were chasing all night. And I heard from one of the once we returned here and rested last night, I heard from one of the soldiers this morning that the torches of the cultists that had been following us turned south and headed towards Waterdeep, and we're not sure what happened down there, or if they made it down there, or where they went.
So she listens to your story, and then from the pitcher, she pours into a small little stoppered vial some of that liquid and says, "Then take this with you. This is a blessing of Shantae."
Thank you. I will. What does one do with it, if anything?
Well, if you feel as if you need a lot of blessing, you could drink it. Or if you feel as if you need a little bit of blessing, you could make a small dot on your hand, and that will be enough to bless you for an average day.
Well, thank you very much for this, and I will let you know as soon as I find out more.
She nods. Are you heading back to the keep?
Yeah.
So the temple continues to prepare for their sanctifying. So at the keep, we have who now? We've got Ellywick and Lark. Hello?
I'm there. I don't know about
I'm
the other
there.
people.
Who else is coming? Or who else? Okay.
Going where?
Torren, you're out in the fields, right?
That's where you left me.
You're smoking your food. So you're able to finish smoking your food. What do you do?
Yep. Take it back.
Where is back? Where are you going?
Giant towery thing I imagine I see from wherever I'm at.
All right. Zerevex, where are you?
Well, I left the store, and I would probably just head back towards the keep because I know that's where everyone would meet up.
Okay. Moroz, where are you?
So I'm currently at the smith, and as I see it, him fashioning the stuff into a shield, my eyes grow wide, and I'm like, oh wow, I had no idea what you were making, but I really see how it's coming together. And I'm going to talk with him a little bit about my interest in armor making.
Okay.
See,
So,
well, I want to see how friendly he is. Like, I want to see if I'm bothering him.
No, so he actively listens to you. And he doesn't seem like a man of many words, but he kind of nods and says thank you. And when you start talking to him, he seems interested in what you have to say.
Well, and I'm mostly asking him questions, like looking at the joints of how he puts things together and stuff like that, and just trying to pick stuff up. OOC, trying to learn stuff.
Yeah, so he shows you how to make a few simple joints. He talks to you a little bit about folding of the iron and folding of the blades and such, and how you have to do that for a shield as well. How you did not recognize what he was making because he makes his blades and his shields of similar type and quality.
Okay, I guess honestly, since we don't really have any pressing matters, I would probably ask if I could try some stuff and if he could critique me, that type of thing, going back and forth. Like, I want to take this time as a real strong training session so that if there was a skill that was armor making or something, that I could sort of rank up.
Okay.
If you know what I
So
mean.
he allows you to do some practice folds.
Okay. Great.
Make me a roll for your first attempt at folding.
What would you like me to roll? I'm looking as well. I was like,
just roll me a d20. I don't think it really fits into.
Okay. Oh golly.
So the first fold you make, you hammer it out, and it's rubbish. And he tells you this is terrible.
Okay, so I'm going to ask him how to improve it and then what I can do to make it better.
Yeah, so he allows you 2 more chances at making a proper fold.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll one more time, and then you'll make a second roll after that.
Oh gosh.
You got a little better.
Alright, so he's not impressed with your second try either, and he shows you how to do a few more, how to make sure your fold takes, how to make sure it's at the right temperature. One more roll. He says that this is passable, and that you've improved quite a bit.
Great. Okay, so I'm feeling slightly accomplished in myself, and I'm going to thank him. I'm actually going to give him a gold piece just for taking the time and teaching me some stuff.
He thanks you for the gold piece and tells you to have a good day.
Okay, cool.
Where do you go next?
Right, so after that, I realized that I've spent a lot of the day on my own stuff, and I'm going to head back to the keep. So I guess my first priority would be to interact with oh god. I've been saying interact all night. I didn't even mean interact that way. So my first, okay, alligator lover.
Anyway, I'll
What are you?
So I'm going to head back to the keep. First, going to try to find my teammates, and if I do not find my teammates, I would head towards the governor to see what the next action is.
You would find your teammates in the Great Hall, and you would enter the Great Hall almost immediately. Side note, Zerevex, we're going to finish you up, but I'm falling asleep, so it's all good nights.
Yeah, we've actually we haven't gone anywhere or done anything, but we've really accomplished all characters have really done a lot, except for Torren, unless his goal is to You didn't even go out to the rice fields, you lazy bitch.
We're going to talk about lazy people in rice fields.
You lazy birch.
Okay, so you find the party there. Zerevex, what are you doing?
Well, you mean, have I made it back to the keep or not?
Oh, did you say you're returning to the keep?
Yeah, I was heading back that way.
Oh, okay, so everyone's back at the keep now. And we will end there for tonight.
Wait, before that, I open up my grab bag.
bags? So ready for this. Already, 1 second later.
Do I roll for them, or you just got ones picked out?
You can roll, and I have a table.
Aw, poor Lark didn't get to do much.
And what do I roll?
I need you to roll me 1 d20 and 2 d10s. Okay, so what you have is a spell scroll for sympathy. That's your first one. You also find that there are some treats for a dog. In this case, you can use a break. And then you find a tome of the stilled tongue as well.
You said Tome of the Stilled Tongue, so like a Book of Silence?
So yeah, that would be your first one.
I thought you said the first one is a scroll of sympathy?
Yeah, Scroll Sympathy.
I meant that's
Then-
your whole bag, yeah.
Okay, so you have a scroll of sympathy, some doggy treats, and what?
The tome of the stilled tongue.
And that's all 3 grab bags, correct?
No, that's 1 grab bag.
Oh,
There's 3 items per grab bag.
okay. And
So
how
if
many
you-
treats was it?
It's a whole container of them, so probably about 25.
He is gonna be happy.
Oh yeah.
And interact with your Drake for days. So that's just 1 grab bag? Are you going to
Yep.
open the rest of them, or?
Yep, all 3.
Alright, so I need you to make some more rolls. But make them in the same order. Okay, so stop there so I can tell you what those are. Okay, so you find a little tincture bottle, the golden tincture bottle that smells spicy. You find a potion of healing, and you find a spell scroll of blade ward.
Also known as the Aegis spell?
Yes, also known as a.
And is it a real potion of healing, or is it one of his made ones?
It's a real potion of healing.
Okay, and I guess for the last one?
Yep. You find a little pouch with a glittery substance inside. You would recognize this from the tag on it as the dust of disappearance. You find a fortune that says better luck next time. and you find a another gold tincture that smells spicy.
Okay, and what about weights for the scrolls, the tomb, the tinctures?
The tinctures would be a pound together. The scrolls are 0.1 pound. They're just pieces of paper. The tome would be 5 pounds. It's heavy.
And the pouch of dust of disappearing?
The dust of disappearing is 2 pounds of a fine glittery powder.
Totally worth it.
It's all the invisible.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Actually, what'd you pay for those?
Well, what, 3 gold? Or was it some? Yeah, I think it's like 3 gold, and I got a healing potion, which was 40 gold, so.
I know. That's what I was saying. And some disappearing dust has to be worth something.
And you got a little tag that says "Better luck next time."
And Tome of Distilled Tongues. That's pretty cool.
So is
Yep.
that a magic spell book then?
You have to read it.
Actually, that's a really nice take.
I should have bought them all.
I know, right? I kind of want some now.
I will say that as the tables grew smaller, there is going on there. So okay, so that's it for tonight.
Awesome.
All right.